What if I told you there's a legal addiction that can drain your savings, wreck your marriage, destroy your mental health, land you in jail, and still somehow get promoted during the Super Bowl? Yep, that's gambling in 2025. And the worst part? You don't even need to go to Vegas anymore. It's in your pocket, it's in your apps, it's in your TikTok feed telling you, just one more parlay, bro. Let's dive in, because by the end of this video you'll understand why the casino always wins isn't just a saying, it's your new reality. Let's start with the basics, your wallet. Over 23 million Americans are now in debt because of gambling. The average damage? $55,000 per person. That's a Tesla, or your house, or your shot at retirement. 90% of problem gamblers use credit cards to keep the cycle going, racking up cash advances with the kind of interest rates that make payday lenders blush. And the top 1% of gamblers? They're spending 58% of their income on this addiction. That's not fun money, that's your entire financial future flushed down a digital slot machine. But sure, tell yourself it's just a hobby. Chapter 7 says otherwise. And guess what? If you think gambling only ruins your bank account, you're not paying attention. It destroys relationships too. The Cut told the story of a woman whose marriage imploded because her husband was secretly dropping stacks on DraftKings. She had no clue until the eviction notice came. Another couple? Both got hooked. They sold everything. Their 3 kids paid the price. You thought betting your wedding fund on the Super Bowl was a cute little risk? Try explaining to your spouse why you're calling the bookie more than you call your mom. But let's keep going, because here's where it gets real dark. Mental health, meet Jordan Holt, 44 years old, Arizona, lost $110,000 on sports betting. He told NPR he thought about suicide on numerous occasions. And he's not alone. Problem gamblers are 15 times more likely to take their own lives than the general population. 20% of them will try. It's not just the money, it's the shame, the secrecy, the feeling that you can never get out, but you keep trying anyway. Because that next bet has to be the one that saves you, right? Now let's pull back the curtain because here's a twist. They want you to lose. Gambling companies profile you, track you, target you. Remember Luke took his life after a relapse, the free bet offer that pulled him back? Intentional? In 2025, FanDuel did the same to Jordan Holt. He tried to quit. They reeled him back in with VIP bonuses and shiny perks. You thought you were a high roller? You're just premium bait. The industry made $70 billion last year, not from winners, from you. And if you're under 25, this next one hits harder. Gen Z is getting eaten alive. Hotlines are blowing up. Teens are getting sucked into sweepstakes loopholes disguised as games. 2 out of 3 teens aged 12 to 18 gambled last year. One guy on X said he started with Pokemon cards. Now he's betting his student loan refunds on soccer matches he doesn't even watch. They think they're investing, but they're not building portfolios, they're building crushing debt. And all this, it's just the warm-up for burnout. Gambling doesn't just drain your money, it drains your soul. Help Guide says it mirrors classic burnout. You start hyped, then comes the spiral. You're numb, you're cynical, you can't feel joy. Jordan Holt said he couldn't focus during family time, couldn't connect, couldn't breathe without thinking about the next bet. You're not gambling for fun anymore, you're gambling to feel anything. Still think this is a joke? Let's talk crime. 50% of gambling addicts commit a crime to fund their habit. Robbery, fraud, assault, embezzlement. 80 to 90% of people in Gamblers Anonymous admit they've broken the law to keep gambling. Problem gamblers have an arrest rate 8 times higher than non-gamblers. And their chances of going to prison, 40 times higher. You didn't win the jackpot, you won a court date. And don't forget your health. 60% of gambling addicts smoke, 26% struggle with alcoholism, 90% have a diagnosed mental illness, 37% commit domestic violence. Mortality rates are 6.2 times higher than average. Suicide rates? Nearly 20 times higher for gamblers aged 20 to 49. You thought gambling was a fun distraction, but it's a fast track to the ER or worse. And if you're thinking, well, at least it's only hurting me. Wrong. Gambling costs society over $8 billion a year. Some estimates say it's closer to $88 billion when you count healthcare, lost productivity, and justice system costs. Each problem gambler costs society around $14,000. That's your taxes, your emergency room, your community footing the bill. So who's most at risk? Men are twice as likely to get addicted. Young people are the fastest growing user base. Ethnic minorities, Native Americans, Asians, Black and Hispanic communities are at higher risk. And sports bettors? 14% report suicidal thoughts. 10% have attempted suicide. This isn't just personal, it's systemic, it's engineered, and it's growing. So what's the final takeaway? Gambling isn't a side hustle, it's a side trap. The games are rigged, the house always wins, and your so-called entertainment is designed to bleed you dry. By 2025, it's clear, 23 million Americans are in debt. 2.5 million are severely addicted. 1 in 5 will attempt suicide. Half will commit a crime. 90% will face mental health collapse. And society pays the price. So go ahead, spin the wheel. But know this, you're not betting on odds, you're betting on ruin. And if you think this can't happen to you, it already is. Subscribe to 3x3 Finance, smash the like button, and share this with someone who needs a wake-up call. Because no one ever gets rich by gambling, except the people getting rich off your gambling.